What's going on, everyone? Jack here from Half Chrome, and today I want to talk about the best drones you can get that cost less than $300. Now, $300 is kind of the entry point where you're going to get a pretty decent drone, right? These drones take excellent pictures and video. Now, they're not quite professional grade quality, but some of these could be used in a pinch, and actually, I think make a great backup drone if you happen to be a professional. But really, these guys excel for the weekend warrior, the person that's looking to get good pictures and video on a family vacation, stuff like that. Maybe even just learn how to fly and take good pictures and video. These are some of the drones that I think you should probably consider. You probably don't need to spend $1,000 right out of the box. So let's talk about my favorites and figure out which one might be the best one for you. I'm actually starting with this drone, and it's not on my list, but this is the DJI Mini 2 SE, and it is just over 300 bucks. So it doesn't make the cut. Now, it's an excellent drone, but it's awesome that now there are drones that compete with this. This one's about $340. Really good camera, easy to fly, some intelligent flight modes, but it doesn't make the cut here because it's just over 300 bucks. This drone also is solid, and there are a handful of different versions of the ZLL Beast. I think this is the Beast Pro Max. The Beast Pro Evo is probably the best of them all. And I do like these drones, and they're right around $300, but they're not gonna make the cut either. Now, there's nothing wrong with buying one of these, but I think the camera quality isn't the best, and they're all over 250 grams, which means they're subject to remote ID, and you do have to register them with the FAA here in the United States. So I think we have some better options. One more I'm gonna mention that you may or may not want to consider. This is the Tinyhawk 3 Plus, and it's actually an FPV drone. This flies totally different. You're gonna use goggles. This comes with the goggles, the remote, the batteries, the charger, case, all the things you need to get into flying FPV, but it's a very different experience and probably not what you're looking for, but it's a lot of fun and it's under 300 bucks. So this guy makes the cut, but you're gonna have to think about, is this what you're looking for? Now, with that said, I think there are three options that you should probably consider. That is, if you're looking to take good pictures and video. I've got the Fimi X8 Mini version 2, I've got the Potensic Atom, and I've got the CFly Faith Mini. Now, the Mini 1 or Mini 2, both are decent options, but I'm gonna talk about the Mini 1 specifically. So this is the CFly Faith Mini, and it is actually just under $200. Now, the Mini 2 is a little over, about $250, and they're very similar drones, with the biggest difference being the Mini 2 has a slightly better camera than the Mini 1, and it has a better range. Now, this guy, the Mini 1, has a flight time of 26 minutes and a range of 3,000 meters. And they'll do 4K video, but only at 15 frames a second, and that's not really very good. You get really jittery footage, so you can shoot 2.7K at 25 frames a second. And again, that's not 30 frames a second smooth. You will get that with the CFly Faith Mini 2. So slightly better camera, about $250. It does have intelligent flight modes, return to home, all those things you're looking for. It is the cheapest option here, under $300, with the Mini 1 and the Mini 2 both being less expensive than these other drones, but the camera just isn't quite as good, and the user interface just isn't quite as intuitive. So that brings me to this guy. This is the Potensic Atom. It's a really hot seller on Amazon. It has a 32-minute flight time, a 6,000 meter range. That's like 3.7 miles. It also has a much better 4K camera that'll shoot 30 frames a second. This one, like the CFly Faith Mini, is under 250 grams, so you don't have to register with the FAA, and you don't have to worry about remote ID. Two big bonuses for smaller drones like these. It does have a handful of intelligent flight modes that work pretty darn well. The orbit, I'm a big fan of. You know, the active track exists on this drone. It's kind of like a follow me, but the drone itself doesn't move. It'll just kind of rotate to keep the subject in shot, and the drone itself isn't moving. Now, I have talked to Potensic, and they are doing some firmware updates to kind of make this drone even better, and that's coming in the future, hopefully before the end of the year. I like the colors out of this drone, maybe a tiny bit oversaturated, but really not too bad for less than $300. It does have a nice 3-axis gimbal that helps keep things steady, so that is pretty awesome. This is an interesting bonus with the Potensic Atom. If you get the Fly More combo, you get this 3-up battery charger, you get 3 batteries, and it'll charge them all at the same time, so you can really get flying pretty darn quickly. A lot of the other drones, you're just gonna charge the battery itself, so I suppose you could charge more than one, but then you need more than one charger and more than one cord and all that. This is awesome and something I wish more drone manufacturers put with their drones. But this drone right here is probably the best one you can get for less than $300. This is the Xiaomi Fimi X8 Mini version 2. And the version 2 of this drone is tons better than the version 1. I did fly that one and it was okay. It had a decent camera, but the app was a little bit glitchy. The drone was a little bit twitchy. This is a much more refined product. This is really nice. It has more intelligent flight modes than any of those other drones. It has a true follow me feature, which is really nice. The camera is solid. It'll shoot 4K 30 frames a second. It has more dynamic range in that camera than any of these other drones I've mentioned, except for maybe the Mini 2 SE. But that one's over $300, so can we really count it? I had some issues with horizon tilts. You're gonna wanna make sure you calibrate the gimbal and things like that, but overall, this is a really nice drone, fun to fly, app is intuitive. It's a very responsive drone, and I like the camera on this thing. It is a really nice option for $300. You can add an extra battery, a Fly More combo package for about $400. And that's not a bad deal either, so something you may want to consider. The X8 Mini here has a range of 9,000 meters, that's over 5 miles, and a flight time of 31 minutes. Actually, you can get a secondary battery, a larger battery, that will give you 37 minutes of flight time, but that actually puts it over 250 grams, and I think just getting 2 smaller batteries would be the way to go. So yeah, something to consider. Plus, this one does not have geofencing, right? A lot of people want to avoid DJI drones because of geofencing, and that's not something you're gonna have to worry about with this Fimi Mini version 2. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in buying one of these drones, we have links down below. They're affiliate links. If we have coupon codes or discount deals, we'll link those down below. Using one of those links doesn't cost you a thing, but it does help support the channel. So I hope you consider that if you're going to buy one of these drones. If you have a question, leave it down below. Yeah, we're super active with our subscribers. I wanna know, what do you think? Is there a drone maybe that I missed? Is there something that you think might be better? Let me know down below and we'll take a look at it. If you're thinking about getting your Part 107, we've got lots of information about that. Make sure you check the link down below for that as well. I hope this was helpful. Good luck, everyone, and happy flying.